This is the kindergarten of Basen community. It seems as if there is nothing extraordinary, but actually Basen community is one of the unique communities in the region and in the Republic as well. This small community is a good example of demonstrating the application of renewable energy sources use. Let's present it in a simple way. Here, the children eat vegetables collected from the greenhouse minutes ago, in the greenhouse, which is operated by a solar thermal system combined with a heat pump. Due to the functioning of the greenhouse, the kindergarten children are provided with locally produced chemical-free and fresh vegetables and herbs. No any activities in the food that children eat. Even the greenhouse soil is not fertilized by chemicals. Near the greenhouse, a biohumus production is established that is used for fertilizing the greenhouse soil and providing organic vegetables. And that's not all. The sun here really works miracles. Due to the solar energy, the kitchen and the sport hall shower of the kindergarten are provided with hot water supply. Even the food here is prepared with the water heated by the solar energy. Due to the hot water supply, there are favorable conditions for maintaining children's hygiene in the kindergarten. The solar thermal system also provides heating in the kindergarten dining room through installed 30 radiators. In winter, the kindergarten children can use other benefits as well. In order to operate the solar thermal system of the greenhouse during summer months as well, a fruit dryer has been constructed for drying fruits and vegetables, as well as various useful plants and herbs in a very short period of time. The positive results as well as economic benefits are obvious. The director of the kindergarten makes calculations. They consume less energy, almost don't buy vegetables, and use the saved money for purchasing new furniture for the kindergarten. It is very important that we and our children eat fresh fruits with no any chemical additives. The comfortable conditions which have been created in Basen truly require a lot of effort, investment and time. The whole community has made timely contribution for getting tangible results from the solar energy. But let's start from the very beginning. In 2013, within the framework of the UNDP GEF Small Grants Program, the project entitled by Biosofia NGO was launched, which at first seemed unrealistic. There was an initial goal to introduce the technologies of renewable energy sources use in agriculture and introduce the greenhouse culture in Shirak region, which is one of the poor regions in the Republic, where there is a necessity to extend the vegetation period so that the population can get income. So why was it unrealistic? Usually, the state authorities would have responded to similar initiatives in the following way. It's not possible to develop greenhouse culture, as there are certain obstacles: hails, strong winds, temperature anomalies, etc. And this intervention will have no benefits. However, taking into account all the risks, it was decided to implement the project by all means. The selection of the community was a difficult task. It was anticipated that all residents would express interest in the development of their community, put much effort and energy for that. Also, the community would have financial contribution to the project. I think firstly it was a psychological problem for people to realize that greenhouses couldn't function in communities with arid climate, insufficient arable lands and severe winters.
Իսկ մեր մարզը գիտեք,
We know that our region is the poorest region in Armenia with the highest migration and unemployment rate, but it has great human potential. Gevorg Petrosyan, the president of Baya Sofia NGO and the project coordinator, honestly says that they have been lucky in the choice of the community. The residents of Basen, together with the community head, could jointly ensure the successful implementation of the initiative. Of course, it was very difficult to choose a community where it was possible to implement a project, achieve results, and make it a model for other communities. Step by step, detail by detail. Due to great efforts, the project was implemented. We even tried to do more than envisaged, and we did it. First, the kitchen and the sport hall of the kindergarten were completely reconstructed, after which the construction and installation of solar thermal system started. Today, the solar thermal system with 16 kilowatt-hour capacity is operated in Basen. Afterwards, the hot water supply was provided to the kitchen and sport hall of the kindergarten. Then, the construction of the greenhouse and installation of its heating systems began with the direct participation of Basen residents. Though the glass greenhouse with galvanized metal structure was only 16 square meter surface area, it really serves as a demonstration and educational model. There is a solar thermal system for heating the greenhouse B in daytime, during cold months, and also a heat pump, which was installed parallel to this project by Third Nature NGO through the financial support of the OSCE Yerevan office. 150-meter drip irrigation system and lighting system are installed in the greenhouse. We were able to break the stereotype that greenhouses in Chirac regions are not efficient and reasonable. With this small greenhouse, we could prove that in Chirac region everything is possible to implement. Such pilot projects are intended to show how to pave the way for renewable energy, which is aimed at reducing emissions, and the funds of global environmental finance are targeted for that. Here, of course, the active involvement of the community head was taken into account, as well as the fact that the community has no gas supply and that solar potential in the community and in the whole Chirac region is very high. The most important is that the construction of the greenhouse was an extraordinary case in the region. It is very demonstrative, and people from different villages and regions come to see it. It has been also replicated, and people constructed it in their communities as they saw and felt the advantages of the greenhouse. If there are good projects like these, young people will become attached to their village and won't leave it. At first, the results achieved from the greenhouse were unbelievable. We planned 150 meetings on 50 square meters of area, and in the course of vegetation, we registered the whole harvest and gave it to the kindergarten. The results were very good, more than 440 kilos of tomatoes and cucumbers. Only during last year, according to the data provided by the head of the community, the kindergarten food and electricity savings made up to 1 million Armenian drams. The system built is flexible. I think the advantage of this project is that it shows how to reduce expenses due to flexibility and savings. We know that electricity and gas prices are increasing, with no chance for decrease. Thus, the more we make such investments, the better we can adapt the system to the future, and the sooner the better. Thus, it was shown that operation of a greenhouse, even in severe climatic conditions of the northern Armenia, can be productive if renewable energy sources are applied. Successful operations and lessons learned resulted in construction of a private greenhouse by an individual for industrial purposes, which has more than 250 square meter surface area. We love our country, says the head of Basen community. This is one of the unique communities in the region where migration rate is very low, proudly says the community head. Let's think this way. Shouldn't each of us try to reconstruct his house? Neighbors can help once, twice, but if they see that you are used to having everything for free, they will not help anymore. Here the community consciousness is very important. I understood that it is more than compulsory for the community to have a contribution. If a community does not have a contribution, people could destroy and don't use the buildings you have built and left them. But when they build something themselves, as it has been here, they care for it and preserve it. For me, as a resident of Basen, the progress is mainly connected with the introduction of innovative technologies. This is very good, as we can go with the time, though our community has much to do in this regard. But most importantly, there is progress and there is a desire to have a demonstrative and high-tech community. The village has no gas supply, and that was the reason why we have chosen Basen, says the project coordinator. The number of communities interested in successful demonstration of application of renewable energy sources use is great, both in Chirac and other regions. Trainings on operation and maintenance of solar thermal system and greenhouse were conducted for kindergarten employees and other interested residents of the community. It's noteworthy that today already 12 families in Basen have installed solar thermal systems in their houses and use these systems due to participation in construction works and training sessions. This is the most important achievement of the project, when the positive experience has been successfully replicated by the community residents. When the community doesn't participate and is indifferent, the most successful project and good ideas can fail. The building can be destroyed and abandoned if there is no community ownership. We are one of the system users, as we have installed a water heater on the roof of our house, which is extremely useful all the year round. See, it's switched on. There is hot water. At first it's slightly cold, then it gets warmer. When it's completely full, it gives a signal and switches off. And when it decreases, it gives a signal again that it is getting empty and we are to fill water again. At first, the villagers were skeptic about this idea. As winters in Chirac are severe, and they were afraid that it would freeze. They wouldn't believe us. They needed to see it themselves. We succeeded in realizing the most important goals. We have set to replicate the technologies, disseminate and make them public. It is already a year and a half we have installed it and are pleased with it. We have regular hot water. I was the first in the community to install it on my house. I'm very pleased. The electricity fees were reduced by 50% after installing the system. Now we can say that the project goal to transfer the knowledge and technology and disseminate them in Chirac region has been reached. The residents saw the efficiency, became sure, and were ready to make the expenses themselves. Solar energy reduced our energy expenses by 30 to 40%, especially the electricity fees. Isn't it profitable? After long-lasting construction works, it was time to find the so-called owner who would maintain the facility. Basen Community Development Foundation was founded. This was one of the components of the project and is considered an important achievement by the experts. The foundation, together with the community, will implement the further operation and maintenance of all the facility. 2 consultative meetings on establishment of the Community Development Foundation were conducted in Basen, which outlined the goals and objectives of the foundation, the composition of the Board of Trustees and other organizational issues. The constituent meeting of Basen Community Development Foundation was held. Miracles don't happen at once, but when I see changes happening in the thinking of the village and the society, and in the external appearance of houses, and thus studying the improving the social life, I see a real miracle. These results should have been summarized in 2014, but it was decided to wait a little to understand what has changed in the community and to see the efficiency of the greenhouse and solar systems. Of course, there is much to talk about upon 1 year operation of the greenhouse, but people who have participated in this initiative simply advised to enter the kindergarten and the houses in the community where solar system heaters are installed. This is the result, and no words needed.